Yeah, let's jump right into the surprising teams because we
Hmm.
talk hoops.
Yeah.
So you're asking me what surprises have I seen so far in terms of teams?
Yeah, I mean, you could give one and then I'll give one as well. We'll try to see if we can get to three, maybe three each.
So one that I kind of predicted, I'm kind of happy to see that I'm right about was the Phoenix Suns. I
Oh,
thought
right. Okay, that's a good one.
so when the trade happened between them and the Rockets during the offseason, I said that the Phoenix Suns would actually do pretty well. I
Hmm.
didn't know they would be doing relatively this well, but I knew that they would be a much more competitive and dynamic team than they were
Yeah.
before, just because of the fact that they got some young legs and they also got guys that can play on both sides of the floor. So
Hmm.
I'm pretty impressed with how Phoenix is doing.
Yeah.
And I'll let you go with your one team, but I got another team in mind afterwards.
Yeah, no problem. I think again, Suns is a great one. It'll be very interesting because I think everyone also wrote them off. I think the odds, looking at them from just betting odds, like they had their odds to make playoffs were like almost non-existent. That is definitely a surprise, and kudos to Devin Booker and him holding down the Phoenix Suns and bringing up the morale of that team as well. But I'll go with another team that I guess a lot of people didn't have high hopes on going into the season, and that's the Chicago Bulls. We've seen Chicago Bulls clear house with Zach LaVine um, and DeMar DeRozan, and they've made a lot of pieces again to save salary and as well just like almost rebuild. But it's been a pretty quick rebuild for them in terms of they have somewhat of direction. All right. I know people looked at that Josh Giddey trade as a little questionable, but we're seeing a guy like Josh Giddey on the Bulls almost averaging a triple double, right? His rebounds, his assist numbers are up, and he's scoring. Vucevic is holding it down like almost a double double every night. Matt Buzelli as well as a player that's playing extremely well for this Chicago Bulls team. Again, I don't know how long it lasts, but they've had a great start to the season, and it's definitely been a surprise because I had this team as a clear favorite not to make playoffs, and again, they may be a play-in going into this season.
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. Actually, they kind of fell off my radar. But now that I come to think about it, they have been pretty competitive in the East.
Yeah,
The other team that I would say is the Detroit Pistons.
yeah, that was gonna be
Now,
one of mine. Yeah,
yeah, so the fact that they're number one in the standings right now, like
yeah, crazy.
at time of recording, they're 11-2. That's no one saw that coming.
No,
Like
because
we
everyone
had
thought Cleveland, right? Cleveland was just gonna dominate, right? Yeah,
so the fact that they've kind of emerged as a sleeper favorite, and like you're saying, it's still early in the season, so things can change, but that's actually been a pretty impressive showing on their part.
yeah,
So yeah, and Cade Cunningham is a good player, and I think they have a
yeah,
lot of like young, scrappy guys that
yeah.
play hungry. They play hard on both ends of the floor, so it is good to see.
Yeah, yeah. Jalen Duran as well as a player that's stepping up for them as well. Big. They have their duo, right? Jalen Duran and Cade Cunningham. I thought again they shot the three ball very well last year. With the guy that's had was in the betting scheme, Malik Beasley. I didn't know how they're gonna replace his shooting, but they found a way to. They're just playing hard, feisty defense, and Cade and Durant are just getting it done on both sides of the ball. Um, the next one I will go with, I'll go with the Orlando Magic, but not so much in a sense where the surprise is that they'll be playing. I thought they'd be playing much better than they are. They're having a bit of a slow start to the season. Um, them getting Bane in the offseason, and then having Bane and Paulo and Franz Wagner, I thought they would have more of the Detroit Pistons start than what the start they've had currently. So maybe again it's early. Maybe they do turn it around. Maybe they just need to get used to Bane on the team and playing with I guess a three-headed monster per se, and how they're going to share the ball. Um, but I thought Bane would just be a plug and play player because he's like a 3 and D guy, and he can handle the ball as well. Um, so I'm a bit surprised that they're off to a bit of a struggle, but maybe they turn it around when they get some more chemistry down the road.
Yeah, I like the direction he took it in. So in spirit of that, I'm gonna match that as well. But I'm kind of torn between two teams.
Mm,
But I'm gonna lean more towards I want to say the Pelicans, to be honest,
okay.
because I was torn between the Pelicans and the Grizzlies, but they're
Mm,
kind of both for the same reason, so I'll just kind of focus more on the Pelicans. Just because I thought that, they have a pretty young nucleus, and all we've seen this offseason was how much weight Zion Williamson lost, and especially like leading up to training camp. Like it's so
yeah.
crazy to me that guys like Luca and Zion Williamson, it now becomes front page news that they're in playing shape. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy to
I
think
understand.
that
Yeah,
athletes will be rewarded for staying in shape. But
yeah,
I thought, okay, the guy looks like he lost some weight. I think he was coming with a renewed mindset despite all of the, off-court drama and distractions that surround him. So I
hmm
thought they would have came out as a hungry, ferocious team ready to make some noise. And to be honest, it's kind of been a very like poor start for them. They're 2-10
hmm
at the time that we're having this conversation.
yeah,
It's not really something I expected from them. I thought they would at least fight to be a middle of the pack team, maybe go for a playing spot and kind of take that next step. But to see them fall all the way to the bottom of the conference, that kind of surprised me.
yeah, yeah. I think either one. I mean, you hit the nail on the head with Memphis or the Pelicans. Again, I thought the Pelicans would be a bit better, but I guess I don't know. They just fired their head coach in Willie Green. I think they're two teams that are moving in the same direction, and it's not a good one. And they're both gonna have to make a big change going forward, and it'll be interesting to see what they do. Who will get traded first, John Morant or Zion Williamson? That's will be definitely very interesting to see who pulls the trigger first. And two players that we thought were going to be generational players for a franchise. Um, it'll be interesting to see where their next destination will be.
Yeah, and that'll be definitely an interesting storyline as the season progresses to see if any
Mm,
move gets made or if there's any move that'll happen in the off season. See, and I think both of them kind of have the same problem is that their games haven't evolved or developed much as their
mhm.
careers went on. When they started, they were young, exciting, exhilarating players that had speed, athleticism, right? And they were able to lead their teams in some respects and showed that promise and that potential. But then it just kind of seems their skill set and development hit a plateau
Yeah,
where they haven't really progressed much. But the defenses and the game around them eventually caught up to them where now they know their tendencies, they know how they want to play.
mhm.
And because that development is not there, they're not looking as great and dominant as they once were. And plus, the off the court distractions that they both had going on doesn't help
Yeah,
either.
100%. So I'll go with another surprise going into this season, and I'll go with the Philadelphia 76ers. Um, I thought, again, there was a lot of unknown looking at the roster. Paul George being injured, we didn't know his status, when he's going to come back. I know he's ramping up to return soon. Joel Embiid, we didn't know what this what he was going to be, right? We know he's very injury prone, and you're never certain in terms of what outcome you're going to get with Joel Embiid. Um, but we see guys like Tyrese Maxey having a phenomenal season, really stepping up to be the leader of this team, and they struck gold with the draft of VJ Edgecombe, um, and we're seeing what he's able to offer. His athleticism, his confidence, his playmaking ability. He's giving some comps to Dwayne Wade when I watch his game in terms of him just being just fast, strong, athletic, and just being able to do a lot. So the 76ers definitely have been a surprise. I think they're a team that could definitely challenge the Knicks um, for that Atlantic Division title. Um, and it'll be interesting when Paul George comes back, if he's able to just be a guy that can play, shoot the three well, and play good defense, get some steals, get some blocks, steal some possessions. Um, and then if they don't have to lean on Embiid and Paul George, and they can more so lean on Tyrese Maxey and their role players, I think the Sixers team could be a threat this year, to be honest.
It's possible, yeah, especially, with the East being as wide open as it is. It's very possible that they can be a threat and make some noise. It's just how do they, I guess, better integrate a guy like Paul George into their offense, right? Can he even be the same player? Does he need to be the same player? So
Hmm.
that'll be interesting to see. And I think the final team that I'm going to throw out there is the San Antonio Spurs.
Mm, that's a
I
good one.
always knew that they were a team for the future, but I didn't know Victor Wembanyama would be this far along in his development as a player and the way that he's completely elevated his game. It's kind of reminding me of Derrick Rose,
Mm,
where when Derrick Rose had a great rookie year, and then I remember he had an incredible playoff performance against the Celtics. And
yeah.
then when you, okay, this guy is a guy for the future, and this is a team to watch out for.
Yeah.
Then the steps that he took ever since then, the way he's elevated, Wembanyama kind of strikes me as someone who's following that trajectory in
Hmm.
terms of what he's able to do and how dominant he looks.
Yeah.
And to me, I love the way that he was punking Draymond Green.
Oh yeah, that was a good game.
I,
They
I,
should have
I
won that game, but they have a closer problem. I don't they don't like Fox. I don't know. Again, he's coming back from injury, but he had two bad misses down the stretch where maybe they should have just gave the ball to Wemby, to be honest. But yeah, back to you.
yeah, no, here's actually a crazy thing. I don't think it'll ever happen,
Mm,
but if it was possible, especially when looking at the salaries, if you could get, I would say, a guy like a John Morant and put him in the
mm,
Spurs, him and Wembanyama, I think would be a pretty good tandem and a
yeah.
pretty good duo.
Sell tickets, that's for sure. Yeah.
100%. And I
Yeah.
think that's the kind of environment he needs to be in, to be honest.
Mm,
San Antonio, really nice city,
yeah.
a lot to do, but at the same time, there's not a lot going on in terms of off-court distractions.
Yeah.
And also, too, I think you'll be in a good professional basketball environment.
Hmm.
And a guy like Wembanyama is so focused and dedicated to the game that I think it would rub off on him. And he doesn't have the pressure of having to carry an entire franchise. So
100%. Yeah. No,
hypothetically, that wouldn't be
yeah.
a bad trade. He could lean in more as a playmaker and then close when they
Yeah.
need to close and fulfill that role. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just very impressed by how far along he's developed as a player, especially as quick as he did, this only being like his second season.
Hmm.
So it's very incredible to see, and the fact that they're right there in the middle of the pack, in position
Hmm.
to secure a playoff spot so far, I think has been very impressive.
Yeah, I like that one, and yeah, I think we got a good six out there. That was a good one because I did want to discuss the Spurs because again, the Spurs are playing well and they have a good roster, and Wemby is the main reason for that. And no one thought they would be this far along, this early. But hopefully it's sustainable. Hopefully Wemby can stay healthy. Yeah, I did get a chance to watch that Warriors game, and again seeing him punk Draymond and he wasn't backing down. Draymond was trying to get in his chest, and Wemby just saw over him. He didn't even see him. And then for him to get that inbounds dunk on him and just scream at him and over him, like he's not phased about these veterans, and we love to see that. And early on in someone's career. I just wish for him to stay healthy. And again, they have also a young coach, which is interesting. But I can think he has some growing pains in terms of knowing how to close out these games. But again, when Steph goes for 40, there's only so much you can do.